I'm ready.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Welcome to the committee of the whole meeting this morning. It's a little snowy out there. I'm glad everybody got in here safely this morning. We don't have a real long agenda this morning. We will have a public comment at the end of the meeting if somebody wants to address the board at that time. And with that being said, we want to thank everybody for being here, if in person or virtual. With that, I'll call the meeting to order and we have a roll call by Madam Clerk Fetty.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good
Morning.
Commissioner Barrios. Here. Commissioner Bardwell.
Here.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Here.
Commissioner Lutz.
Here.
Commissioner Cook.
Here.
You have a quorum. You may proceed.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody want to add anything that's not on here? They want to add it? With that, we'll get started. We'll go right into the new business. Request to use the courthouse lawn for the 36th annual Carroll Chamber of Commerce Cars and Crafts Show. Erica Dole.
Good morning.
Morning.
We received an email from Kim Stevens of the Carroll Chamber of Commerce requesting their annual use of the courthouse lawn.
CA?
CA that.
Thank you.
Give me one pen.
Try this one.
Okay, we CA that, guys. Go to number 2, appointments to the Tuscola Behavioral Health System, TBHS Board of Directors. Jody Fetty.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
We have received our letter from the TBHS Board asking for reappointment of Daniel Grimshaw, Kenneth Partridge, and Karen Snyder. They are currently serving, so we're asking for them to be appointed to the 3-year term beginning March 1st, 2026. And if that is agreeable, a consent agenda for that would be acceptable.
CA, guys?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
For the next one, I did forget to grab off my desk this morning the application, but we have received from Henry Winemore an application for Jackie, AKA Jack Campbell, and that would be to appoint Mr. Campbell to fill the seat that Henry held on the advisory council before we elevated him to Mr. Sanders' spot. We had pulled that up, and so that seat has been vacant as a Tuscola County representative. So we can either wait till Thursday and I'll bring those with me, or if you are comfortable proceeding forward, a consent agenda would be acceptable with me as well.
Consent agenda?
Yeah, that's fine.
Consent agenda, thank you very much. I'm sorry, I forgot to grab those as I walked out the door, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to number 4. Tuscola County Advisor Council of Aging request for funds for a senior dinner dance. Erica Dole, Controller Administrator.
Again, the request is a standard request that's happened before, and I do not have that up. I'm sorry to see the amount. I believe it was $2,500 is what they're requesting. I believe we've granted that request in the past. However,
We didn't grant the whole thing last year, did we? I don't think we granted that.
I don't think we did. Is it in the budget?
I don't believe it is, and I'm struggling to get into that currently. If you'd like to give me a minute or table it, I can ask Connie to run that for me. I am
I think
into.
What we did last year, you mean? Is that?
Yes, what did we do last year?
I think we reduced it to 1,500 or something, if I remember right.
I think you're right.
I believe there was a reduction as well. I can't remember the amount, but that feels,
The 1,500 sounds right.
yeah, that feels correct.
So, Chairman, with that said, I'll keep this really, really short. I struggle with approving anything that's not budgeted, and sometimes with it budgeted, based on the 27 projection, based on what we put in 26, and we come short of revenues, and we haven't reduced expenses to my knowledge, so nothing's changed. So I just want the board to keep that in mind. This is a great cause, been there many times over the years. But I'm just concerned about the expenditures.
Yeah,
Back
and
to you,
maybe,
Chairman.
and maybe maybe on those two, let's move this to Thursday, bring back what we did last year to give us something to look at, but I agree, this is, where they do this, at the Golden? Is this going over maybe with the
It's out on 24, what's that, VFW? No,
Don Plonsky?
Don Pulaski, unless they've changed.
I know they've done this for years and years.
Well, typically, the sheriff would dance with every.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know when that tradition stops.
Maybe we could bring that up and put it in.
I think so. I put that in there.
Hey, like a dollar dance or something. Back then. You know,
Hey, we love you, Sheriff.
yeah, some kind of a dollar dance type of thing.
Yeah.
So
They pay it.
They reduced their ask at $2,498.
Yeah.
The dollar dance, is it, or?
$2.
Oh, $2.
So you want to just bring this back up on Thursday for more discussion, that way?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what we did last year, because
Thank you. I'll bring a history.
like Clerk Fetting said, I want to say it was 1,500.
Yeah, I believe you're.
I think we reduced it, I don't remember.
But I concur with Commissioner Bardwell. You know, we need to look at everything.
Open Unit Controller's Office, copy your bids, Mr. Mike Miller.
I hope you're as excited as I am. There's a lot of them.
Sorry, my picture.
That's okay. So yes, the controllers, copiers, I'm sure all of you know, has died. They have a loaner, so I helped Erica put out an RFP. The bids were due on the 13th, and we're opening them today. My intent is to open them and then review them and come back with a recommendation on Thursday. So the first one we have says Marco, M-A-R-C-O, from Dearborn, Michigan. It's quite a package. I'm sure there's a right way to open this and the wrong way, and I'm doing it the wrong way.
Wednesday.
What's that? It's a binder. Let's see. So bear with me. I think there's a couple of options here. Jody, if there's options, would you prefer or would you like the make and model of each option? Or do you just want the price at this point?
Probably should you make a model?
Okay,
Unfortunately, I think.
Oh, that's fine. So this one is a Konica Minolta C361i. And they have a purchase price of $3,851.07. They will do a 60-month lease for $77.79. Service and supplies are $36.10 a month. And that may actually be the only option. That is the only option. Let's see, the second bid I have is from Federal IT Solutions Specialist. And it looks like they're from Springfield, Virginia. I'm sure there's something here somewhere. Oh, Lord, this is small. Madam Clerk, can you read small print?
I can try my best for you.
I can't read that.
That is very small. There's a Xerox Alta-Link color copier with a finisher. Looks like the machine itself is $6,450. And then there's a cost for the finisher, cost for the fax, and a cost of delivery service. And then there is a yearly on-site contract for all parts, which for each year is $1,020.
Should have made the copier a little bigger. Yeah.
Are these, is this just an extra copy? $12,595?
Yeah,
Okay, it's like an extra copy.
extra copy.
And
Oh,
then
here's maybe a
13.
that was purchasing, and then if you wanted to, so for the purchase, if you did all of the equipment and the 5 years of service, the total cost is $12,595.
Oh.
And if you wanted to lease it, you would, the monthly lease would be $225 a month, so $2,700 a year. For a total cost of $13,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
ETF Business Systems.
Thank you. As I get older, I can see I have to ask them to put it in larger print. Okay. Next one we have is Toshiba Business Solutions from Troy, Michigan. This says option 1 is a Toshiba E Studio 331 AC. Total monthly investment, if leased, is $92.73. If bought, it's $3,125.88. And then they bill $22.22 monthly for minimums service. Option 2 is a Lexmark XC4342. If leased, it's $101.44. Purchased is $3,490.91. And that does not include the $22.22 monthly service fee. And that appears to be that one. The next one does not have a name on the outside of the envelope. Looks like Applied Innovations.
What was that again, Mike?
Applied Innovations. It looks like this one is for a Ricoh IMC 3510. There's a lot of numbers here, so bear with me. A 63-month lease under government pricing is $142.09 per month, or it can be purchased for $6,458.78. There is a maintenance agreement of $18.40. I think that's all that. Particular one.
Chairman?
Yeah.
Where's that located?
Excuse me. It's a good question, Mr. Bardwell. I'm not actually seeing an address. I do not see an address.
Strike that one.
I do have his name, Brad Burbina, Bourbina, the account manager at appliedinnovations.com. That's what it says.
They give no phone number.
Yes, phone number. Would you like the phone number?
I would just want to see where the area code is.
989.
Other than 989, okay.
It's Southfield? Thank you. That looks the same as that one. I think maybe these are just multiple. Yes.
There's one in Clio,
One Clio.
if it's the right. Applied Innovation.
Yeah, these, it's like he's got 4 copies of the same option. The next one is from a person called Gary Gal, G-A-L, from Bloomfield, Michigan. Doesn't have a name of a company. Oh, wait a minute. Kanoka Minolta. These guys can't speak. Okay, this is for a C361I Konica Minolta copier. And it is $4,074.41 to buy it. Or they offer a $1 lease rate, 36-month, $1 buyout is $152.02 a month. A 48-month buyout is $119.91 per month. And I believe this says state of Michigan lease rate, I guess without a buyout, is 48 months is $108.78, and 60 months is $90.04. That's the same. These are specifications. I think that's it for that one. Yeah, let's see. There is no name on the envelope. This is from Visual Edge IT. Lease option, 63-month lease and maintenance payment is $178.27. Dollar buyout monthly payment would be $191.64 a month, and would own the machine at the end of the 63 months. Or you could outright purchase it for $6,525 and then pay in a maintenance agreement of $35.11 per month.
5,000 what one?
That's $6,525 to purchase with a $35.11 per month maintenance agreement.
Chairman, where's that one located?
They are, they're in Saginaw, I believe. I believe they are the ones that supply your current copier.
No.
And they do district court, I believe, too. This one's from Galaxy Office Machines right here in Carroll. They are offering a Ricoh Officio, IM C3510. It retails for $20,595, but the government price is $8,895. And the service contract covering all parts, labor, and supplies, excluding paper, is 1 cent per copy, black and white, and 6 cents per color copy, billed quarterly. And then they have a 60-month lease, $1 buyout, all parts and labor and supplies included, is $199 per month. You awake there?
No.
What? Yo, just one more. We can make it.
One more?
One, this is it. Maybe there was a name on this part. Innovative Office Technology Group from Livonia, Michigan. Okay, this is a Sharp BP-70C36. And they have a 60-month lease for $242.08 per month, a 48-month lease for $292.72 per month, a 39-month lease for $337.18 per month, or you can purchase it for $12,351. And this sheet says the same thing, except it has a monthly service rate of $16.65. We have another option. This is a Sharp MX 3571. MX 3571. And for a 60-month lease is $135 a month. 48 is $163. 39-month is $187.50. or you can purchase it for $6,299. And a $16.65 monthly service agreement. There you have it. I'll expect your answer by Thursday.
Jim, can I
They're kind of all over the place.
I was gonna say.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Mike, in terms of the RFP and the specifications, all these, you're going to review that they met the specifications, but the range of prices and models, did you, in the RFP, specify number of copies or any criteria that,
35 pages per minute.
okay?
Basically, we met with our current, Erica, the controller's office, current provider, and she gave Erica basically a bid. We told her we wanted to bid it out, so I basically just used her specifications because it's what we use now. So I just included those specifications into the RFP.
So realistically, 3,500 copies, right?
35 copies per
Per
minute.
minute. So each one would meet that, but the price variation is what, indicative of the model or capability or just profit?
Honestly, Mr. Bardwell, I offered to help, and then I told Erica I really didn't want to do this again. I did not realize what I was getting into with copiers. Like, this is like the
Okay.
used car market. I mean, they're all over the place.
Okay.
I will.
I have some insight on this. I can help. Usually what happens when you receive an RFP, per manufacturer, the first person to register that opportunity as a salesman gets the best price. So if somebody's already hit Rico and said, I want the best price on this unit, they're guaranteed number one best price because they were first in line. Now, other salesmen are gonna go to other manufacturers to try to get something comparable to what the Rico unit was. So that's why you saw the different amount of vendors coming through, was that opportunity was already registered with Rico, so they had to move on to Conoco Minolta or somebody else. So that's why that happens. It happens in the IT world all the time.
So you think that's why the numbers are all over the place?
Yes. In my experience, I really like working with folks across the street, and the Rico product is great for my 2 cents worth.
Galaxy Read.
Well, I mean, that certainly, Chairman, I'd agree, because over the years, we've tried to keep the business within the county. I mean, there's quite a discrepancy here.
Yeah, but it's a big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Unless that's the, talking that much difference.
Yeah.
Well, we'll review
No
them.
further
I'll review them with Erica, make sure she's happy. And then maybe Ian can take a quick look through them too, just to give his 2 thoughts.
Hey, anything else you want to talk about?
You offered, so we'll try to come back to you with a really good recommendation.
Like the military, you'll volunteer, really. All right,
Any questions?
no, I don't. Somebody got any questions?
Thank you.
Chairman, if I may jump back to the dance item, if you look in your agenda, you'll see what was approved last year. We can still discuss that on Thursday, but I wanted to just point that out. In addition, it's being paid from the senior millage fund.
Oh, okay.
Yes, from the voted senior millage. So that's the fund that it's paid from, not the general fund. So I just wanted to bring that up. We
This is
can
always
still,
a discussion. I thought we always came from the general fund. This is, this was, because this was a discussion, we always had every year this come up. But,
last year it was paid out of Fund 297.
So, Chairman, Fund 297, what is in 297 to date? Is it, do you know?
If you go to,
Do you
go
mean,
to the
What's
The
in
agenda,
fund
their
balance.
what's the fund balance?
Yeah.
it's number
I can tell
4.
you in one
And
moment.
click on the senior dance.
It's, there we go. It's thinking.
See it?
Oh, now I see it.
See it?
Yeah, I just saw the letter and I could scroll, I'm sorry.
Yeah, keep scrolling down. You'll,
Okay.
you'll see the
Gotcha.
rest of it.
I don't see what that figure was last year.
It was the 2,500.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe we just discussed lowering it, but
Yeah, I see it now. I didn't scroll down far enough. It's 2,500.
Your
Oh,
fund balance. Apologize, but my year-to-date
Well,
balance
You see,
is.
it still doesn't say where it came from. Where,
it
where-
does not say where it came
Where
from
does it
in the
say where it
motion.
came from?
It,
Sorry.
it does not. I believe the motion just showed that you paid 2,500 and
Right.
then I searched that for you
Oh, okay.
while Mike Miller was helping.
And that's where it came from. was the-
Yes, it came from the 297 fund. So the ending, I'm struggling, I apologize with my, again, tiny screen. Roughly $9,000 fund balance. However, it is paid from millage dollars. So if we look at 26, and I can bring you back reports to show you the ending fund balance from 25 and opening balance from 26 on Thursday. But I do believe we have the funds available, but I will confirm that.
And would there, Chairman, would there be any, while you're looking at that, would there be any future expenses that would come out of that? Significant future expenses, or could you pick up that as well?
Sure. So yes, we do have, it's millage dollars, so those go for many things. So senior
Okay.
meals,
Which is typically being requested for funding?
yes.
Yeah, don't say where it came from.
Oh,
Thank
and
you.
Connie said it is budgeted.
What is budgeted?
Yeah, if you look at last year's motion, it don't say where it come from.
No, she looked it up.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
So if it was budgeted this year, but it wasn't the previous year because it came out of the 297?
Well, it might still be budgeted, but it's budgeted through. the-
Budgeted out of that millage.
Out
Out
of
of
the
their millage,
297.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's budgeted out of the 297, it's millions of dollars, then I have no issue with it.
I don't know.
Put it on a consent agenda, then discuss it on Thursday.
Well, Chairman, the only thing I would be cautious with, and if I've got this correct, if they come in for more senior dollars for senior meals, which all good cause, I'd rather see 2,500 go to that than I would. And that's,
Yeah. Is this,
I don't know if that's probable.
well, because we just passed this millage, didn't we just pass this millage?
Yeah, HDC, we got the millage for the
Yes.
senior meals.
Yeah, we just.
We had the original and then we got the additional.
So we shouldn't have any issues with additional funding.
I don't think so. I don't see why we would.
Okay.
I know where there's not a waiting list.
That's my only reservation,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, me too.
Would you like me to discuss this with them? I believe they did assist us with the budget for 26. However, if you'd like, I could discuss it with them before Thursday.
We can make a motion for it on Thursday and go back over it again and do it by motion if you want to.
Yeah, and I like the idea, Chairman, of discussing it just to see, get a
Have
current,
Erica check it out.
current state.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, proceed with normal, but just curious.
Okay. Thank you for revisiting that for
If
me.
that's clear.
Yeah. Move on to number 6. The review of proposal lease for the Michigan State Police Post MSP building. Mr. Mike Miller, building and grounds once again.
The attorney's comments.
I do.
Could you assist me in that if I need it?
I certainly will.
So the Michigan State Police, the board has previously approved or agreed to the rental rate, which I apologize, I don't remember that is off the top of my head. But then we sent that back to the state, and then the state, in negotiations, they want new carpet, and they've agreed to pay for the carpet. But I have to do all the legwork to get it installed. So we're working through that. The state has given me all the parameters. I've met with the contractor. We're working out a price. Once we get that back to them and they approve it, then they told me they would send that up the ladder to further approval in the state. So in the meantime, the controller administrator sent the lease to review to our attorneys, and they came back with a couple of comments. One was the address is wrong for us. We need to change that. Not a big deal. But the biggest issue that I saw is that in the current, I don't know if it's in the current lease or the now expired lease, but it is in the one that we're working on. After 1 year, the state has the ability to purchase the building at a fair market value, and the board has no control over it. Now, some may think that's a good thing, but that's up to you. But that was the one that stuck out to me as the biggest red flag, is that if the state, I don't know that they would, but they do have the ability after 1 year to come to you, hand you a check, and it's their building without you have any ability to stop it or nothing from you. They just do it.
Never been in any other lease?
It's never, I don't know if it's in the current lease. If it is, our attorney has never pointed that out.
I don't believe so.
Yeah,
I would
we've been
think
over that,
they
lease.
would
I
have.
don't remember everything.
I don't remember that clause. I don't know if it's something new, but
How long was this current lease?
I'm sorry,
How long was the lease?
20 years.
20 years.
And then that language is in the new proposed lease.
Yes, it's in the proposed lease.
Thank you.
It's the new lease appears to be a 10-year.
It's a 10-year lease and then 2 5-year extensions. So it would be a 20-year lease. Again,
I'm scanning, Mike, for the amount. Previous lease to current lease, and is
right
that
now, the last 10 years, they have not paid anything other than a maintenance fee.
Mhm.
The current lease would be,
I don't see anything.
I don't think it's in there yet. I think it's $13 or $14 a square foot that state offered and you agreed to. I'm sorry, I didn't bring that with me.
It's $6,500 a month for the first 10 years, and then $7,000 a month for the next 5 years, followed by, so $7,100, followed by $7,700 a month for the last 5 years is what the proposed lease states.
So 6,500, 7,100,
I can-
7,700.
I can get you those exact figures. I'm rounding.
Okay.
If you want me to read them to you, or just, how would you like?
Sure.
Okay, $6,565.02
Okay.
for the first 10 years. $7,174.99 for the next 5. And then $7,778.67 a month for the last 5 years
Thank you.
Per month,
per month.
7,000 per month. So in other words, the county was a revenue stream.
Well, it hasn't really been for the last 10 years because they haven't paid any rent other than a maintenance fee, but it will be. Yeah.
And the reason they haven't paid in the last 10 years is because
That was in the
For the
agreement.
agreement.
Those were their 2 5-year extensions. So the county built the building. The state paid the county back in lease payments. And then the last 10 years were rent-free other than a maintenance fee,
so they're considering it as bought and paid for through,
lease payments.
Yeah.
But it's the county's building.
so Chairman, what would be, I'm just curious, what is the negative of turning it over to the state? What would be the downside?
I'll sell them to the state.
Yeah, in their current lease, apparently they have something in there for.
Yeah.
Well, the proposed lease is after a year of rental payments, or lease payments, then they can purchase it outright at fair market value.
So what would be the downside from your perspective?
From my perspective?
Yeah.
I don't know that there would be.
Okay.
I mean, other than we would lose a building, I mean, obviously you don't have to pay for the maintenance or the roofing costs anymore, but.
Or the water?
Mm,
The battle over
that's
the water, the sewer?
That's debatable.
I guess the only part about that I'm not, is they can just come in there and offer you fair market value and you got nothing to say.
Well,
That's the part that, you know.
I don't
If
like
they want to
that.
come to the board and
Right.
offer to buy it,
I
have a
just
discussion on it.
figured I'd go with the negative versus
You
the
know?
positive first. And
Yeah. Well, I think he's right. I think the board would want some type of negotiation power, you know.
Yeah.
Who determines what the fair market value is? I don't believe it says in there, but.
I thought they'd just taken possession.
No, they will
They'll
pay
pay.
fair market price, it says, for the building.
Well, like you said, who sets that?
I don't know if it says that or not.
So what's the plus? I mean, on the other side, what's the plus of keeping it?
Well, we're gonna start getting rent Friday, it will be a revenue stream.
It would be, yes.
If they would allow, I mean, if this has been the battle whether they move out, stay here, or you,
Well, if we sign a 20-year lease.
Yeah, I don't believe they're looking to go anywhere. You know, maybe at the end of the next 20 years, you know, that building's gonna be pushing 50 years old. Maybe at that point, they might want a new
I
building.
just meant, since the current lease expired, correct?
Technically, it has
Is
expired.
expired, they have the option, they could, from negotiating position, hypothetically.
Well, technically, the only thing we're waiting on the lease right now is just the price of the carpet. The rental agreement you've already agreed to. They offered it, you agreed to it. They're gonna pay for the carpet. I just have to get them that number so they can plug it into the lease and then send it up to the next person, whoever that might be.
And you install it, county installs it?
No, they install it.
What color is it?
It's you're gonna be surprised by this.
Blue.
It's
Blue?
like a dark blue, yes.
Ah, that's surprising.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
in the lease agreement on page 14 and 15 are those figures, the rental figures.
That's where the figures are.
Yeah, so it is in there.
In between the pages, or?
The first 10 years is on 14, the next 5 are on 15 out of 26.
And that's the current one that's on the
That's the one that,
proposed,
yeah, the proposed.
14 and 15?
14 of 26, lease 10724222024. They corresponded with the figures Erica gave. Clerk Fetting.
So I guess we need to instruct our attorney that if we want that buy in there or out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend at least the attorney reach back out to them or however we do it to say that, not that the board's not interested in selling it if that was the option, but you would like negotiation power, not,
Yeah.
you'd like some say in it.
Do you know where it is in here?
If you have her comments, it does say in the section, I believe.
one moment, I jumped to
It's not
something
the
else.
Estoppel one, is it? Page in the back.
Maybe. if you just
Hold on,
add-
that's 5 paragraphs. I just gotta find the right paragraph.
Even if we were to add, bring it to the board, or it'd be up to us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
That's why I'd like to read it. If it-
Looks like it's 6.1 somewhere buried on page 21. Lease the option to purchase. Fair market value of the land, structures, improvements, et cetera.
What page are you on, Commissioner?
It is 16 of 26. The fair market value shall be determined by the independent fee appraiser who is licensed by the state of Michigan. And the state will pay for that. licensed by, I'm not making
So this
jokes.
doesn't give me this does not tell me where,
Yeah,
but apparently
I think
Commissioner Bardwell found it.
Yeah.
16 of 26, is that where,
Yeah, I got it.
okay,
Yep, thank you.
right there.
That's nice of them to pay for it.
How many troopers are there now? Do you know?
I do not know the number. If I had to guess, if they're all there at one time, there's 20, 25 of them.
Okay,
I do know, I shouldn't say I do know, maybe the sheriff could tell you, but I believe all the troops in Thumb report to that building
Hmm.
and then disperse from there.
let me see.
That's the only active post in the Thumb. The other ones that they had are now, as the way I understand it, are still there. They use them for stop-offs to write reports or whatever, but they're not open to the public.
Chairman, there's another note from the attorney that the lease may be assigned by the state to any instrumentality of the state government without county's consent. It may also be otherwise assigned or sublet with the county's reasonable consent. Article 3.
Assignment privilege.
And then he also said, okay, the government, environmental assessment, that's fine. Please note, this is not a triple net lease. The county must maintain insurance, which we already do. The cost of maintenance without reimbursement. However, the state will pay for separately metered electric, gas, which that's already in place.
That includes water?
Yes.
Yeah, they pay all the utilities,
With the exception of the,
not the water project.
correct, thank you I was
Yeah.
looking for that word, project. But they would cover the exterior maintenance, including grass and snow removal. So the state that would be the state's responsibility.
Mr. Chairman, what is the next step?
I believe you send it back to your attorney to at least have them put some type of a note that the board would want some type of say over a sale. Doesn't matter who it was.
Yeah, I would think that, that's over, right? We should have some kind of a negotiated power or whatever. We should have the choice to say at that time too, that we don't want to sell it. If they want to do something different, then they can do it. We should have at least that option. I would think.
I would agree. I mean, you should have something to say over your building.
So in terms of Elmer, it's not tax exempt, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
No matter, So no issue with Elmer without.
Okay, so I can take this back to the attorney. Do I need to bring it back? It probably won't be prepared for Thursday. So I can take it back to them and then table it until the next time, or does it need to come back on Thursday is my question.
They can't do I haven't got the price of the carpet yet, and they won't do anything until I give them that. So if we need to, I can hold that price until we get back from the attorney.
Okay.
Chairman, we're going to the attorney to firm up the sale
Change that language, I think, on the sale part.
to model what?
To model that, selling is not out of the question on our behalf, but we just want negotiated power. We just want the state bill to come in here and just say, here's a check. The bill is not ours.
Well, they said they'd pay for an independent appraiser at state license and state
Right.
whatever certified state. So what you're saying, we could get a realty company to come in and appraise it.
No,
Competitive.
they can still do all that. It's just that you know, it's our choice at that time if we want to sell it or don't want to sell it. And, you know, what it is, I just don't think that we want the state just to get an appraiser and say the appraiser is worth $500,000 or whatever they come up with. And just write us a check and say, you guys have nothing to say about it.
So again, what you're saying is, right now is basically constricted to the state making the appraisal through some independent agency, but what we're
Right-
saying is,
Right now, it's.
we want our own,
No. All I want to say, right now is, it says the state can buy it at will. All we want to say is, no, they can't buy it at will. We won't, we might sell it to you, but we want to be able to negotiate that with you.
oh, I see.
And leave that option to us. They might come back to your bill, so we want to buy your building. We may want to say, sell it to them, get your appraiser. Or we might say, well, you know, we're not interested in selling it this time. We can, you know,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, we just want that option to be able to say yes or no to a sale.
So
I believe we do. I believe we want that option.
Chairman, so what I'm asking our attorney is to update the language so we have the authority to deny and or negotiate the
Deny or
sale.
approve. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
guess I'm reading it, and I don't know if Commissioner Bardwell's coming up with the same question. By the way, I read it, but I'm no attorney, that we do have that option unless it was in 6.8 where it says deleted. But did you read in there, or you're going off the attorney notes that they could come in and you're interpreting it that, and I'm assuming the attorney is too?
I read it after I looked at the attorney's comments, that after a year, they can
Do you
come.
remember
and
where it
purchase
was, or? No. You think it's
Where
a
it
six, it's 6.8? Do you see that, Commissioner Barbara?
I
yeah,
do.
what do you read? What do you read?
This is in the
Page
lease agreement.
Page 16.
The one they got right now, Matt?
No, the proposal.
Oh, the proposed one, okay.
And under 6.8, it says deleted, not applicable. So I'm wondering if did the attorney change any of this, Erica, do you know?
No,
Oh, okay.
this is.
So I
right
wonder
from the
what
state.
6.8 was. Because I perused it. I didn't read it word for word, but it looks like we have that option unless it was in that, 6.8. We have the option to refuse, but the attorney would know better than I would.
Yeah,
But I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm really just relying on the attorneys.
Yeah, and we should have, in my opinion, we should have the right to refuse.
Commissioner Cook, it appears in 6.7 that the state will have their appraisal and we could have our appraisal. And what we don't have is the ability to refuse. I think that's what we're saying.
And then at the end of that paragraph, if we disagree, there's a review, appraisal determination, and we split that cost. So I don't know if that's like a mediator kind of or something.
But it doesn't say that you can refuse the sale.
Right. That's what we-
Right, that's
Right,
the issue.
Right. That's what we want to be able to have that ability to do that.
The only reason I think they would even try, put that in there is if after the first year, the market went down and they're looking at, man, instead of paying all this money out for the next 29 years, we're gonna come in and buy it for, a lesser amount.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I could, but I think all of us agree, we need to have that right to say, no, we don't want to sell.
Yeah.
Again, in my opinion.
And again, just to step back, I know we haven't received anything under the Hoagland days. That was a revenue stream, because I can hear his argument, as I remember, I believe.
Yeah, the first
Will
10
it become a
years.
revenue stream again?
Yeah. Yep.
Other than what we pay.
Yeah, what we pay in maintenance costs per month would definitely be, hopefully would be a lot less than
less.
$6,500.
Right.
Otherwise, maybe we do want to sell it.
And they ain't got a choice. Maybe I'll put it there. If we want to sell to you, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we all
Okay,
know what we're looking for.
all right.
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Mike,
Sounds good. Number 7, 2025 Emergency Management Performance Grant, EMPG, Mr. Steve Anderson.
Sorry.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
So this is the yearly EMPG grant agreement. If you haven't noticed, the amount has gone down, surprise, surprise. Typically, we're in the 30,000 range. Now it's down to 10,500. So
Yeah,
it
what's
is
up
what
with
it is.
that?
What's that?
So what's up with that?
Lots
Usually
of
it never
things.
go down.
A lot of things have been cut out of it, so I'm surprised we're getting anything at all at this point, so.
I thought the state had extra money.
So the rumor is the state's keeping more of this money and giving less to the locals. So
No.
imagine that.
That look like.
Maybe they're trying to buy a building. So I'm just looking to put this on for SCA for Thursday, so I can get it approved and get the signatures.
C8,
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. 8, Justice AV Solutions, JABS, quote for the circuit court. Chief Information Officer.
Good morning. I'm not going to take up as much time as somebody like Mr. Miller. This is a request from the courts that the current jury box, the way that they view evidence in a trial or hearing, is through a screen that's on the front of the box, and it's permanently installed there. This was done when the first, somewhere around 2021, just after COVID, when we approved the JABS project, that those screens are constantly being hit by jurors' knees and unplugged. They need to be replugged in, and they're starting to get the wear and tear on them where they're going to need to be replaced. So instead of replacing them in the same spot, they've came up with this solution. This is a cart that's got a 45 to 50 inch TV that will roll out as much more visible to the people in the jury box, and can be moved out. So once they view the evidence, they can slide it away and they can continue to have a direct line of sight to the judge, the defendant, prosecution. Sheila Long was going to be here to present this to you, but she is off on vacation this week. So that's why I'm here. This is not budgeted. I don't have any funds in the 244 equipment fund to fund this. So this would have to come from our accounting office and where we're going to pay this from.
And what is the cost?
It's $4,400, just shy of $4,500. The proposal, it should be in your packet.
Yeah, it is.
In that case, it's not budgeted, it's gotta come from somewhere. What line item, Chairman, would that come from?
It would come from, what line item would that come from, Ms. Erica?
Well, the only fund that we really have available funds is our capital improvement fund. So I am cautious about pulling from that. However,
This goes with everything else that Commissioner Bidwell
yes.
was talking about,
Nope.
How big a need is this? Is it something, how long can it last? Or
They do have a 85 inch TV that is quite a distance from the jury box. I feel would be insufficient. That's the only way they have to view it now. Not these have been taken out.
they would take it out?
Yeah, the ones that have been hit with the knees, yeah, we're not working anymore and they took them out. So the only other way for them to view the video evidence is on a screen that's, I would say 100 feet away.
Across the courtroom.
It's clear across the courtroom. So all of 50 feet, I know that.
Yeah, that would be 100 feet.
Chairman, just for an understanding, when they hit them with their knees, are they hitting the edge of the screen?
Yes, and the screen itself.
Doesn't the jury box have that wall in front of it?
That's where
They're mounted is to the wall right.
That's
in
where
front.
they're mounted.
They mounted them down because they didn't want them to be up
Oh,
and in the direct line of view of
so they're
the
hanging
court
over the,
proceedings. Yes.
hanging over the rail.
Yes.
Hmm.
So you was talking about that other TV, what was you want to say about that? That, they have that available now, that's what they're using now.
That they have that in addition to the screens that were there. So they didn't have to look clear across the room. They had them right in front of them. However, they're not there anymore.
This unit would be able to be taken into their deliberation room if they needed to look at something.
There is separate AV equipment for that
Okay.
exact need that was put in a while ago.
Chairman, are there any grants or anything along those lines that would help fund this?
I was gonna say, has anybody ever checked with MMRMA?
This would not be an insurance related item. I doubt it, but we can check.
Well, they have grants through the courts, I know. I don't know if that's one of them.
Usually on security issues, trying to mitigate exposure to claims is where they try to focus their grant funding. We can try, but I'm gonna give you almost a 90% no, they're not gonna do that.
I think it's something we need to look into a little bit, see if there's any grants out there or.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You looked at this quote, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
$1,000 shipping.
It's big TV. Also, they're gonna be.
Best Buy sells big TVs too.
This is their trip
I mean-
fee too, for them to come up with their employees. So this includes labor and materials for the day. I believe they're coming from Grand Rapids area. I can take it back to them and say, we need to find some sort of funding to, board requested, we look at funding sources. If that's your pleasure.
Yeah.
That's my pleasure.
We have no idea what funding we're gonna need in the future.
Okay, I will do that, and thank you very much.
That takes us through, the new business. The only thing we got in our old business is the amendment to the motion 2026-M-041 regarding the promotion of Vicky Crumby to full-time vacant position and register of deeds officer to do.
Good morning. The motion did not include her title or her pay rate. So on Thursday, we will be bringing back a corrected motion with the help of our county clerk educating me on the proper way to correct a motion. So if you see that on Thursday's agenda, we're not asking for additional approval. We're just asking to clarify the record.
Any questions about that? All right, that takes us through old business. Let's go into finance technology, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Barlow.
I don't have much to offer on finance that hasn't been offered, but technology, any further updates?
I have a small presentation about data centers and artificial intelligence, if you would like to hear it today.
This is gonna be a lot of Mike Miller's.
No.
Poor Mike.
More Steve Anderson like.
I think it's important to preface this conversation with the statement that this is not my opinion of whether data centers are good or bad. This is just facts of what they are, what they do. Fact-finding mission is really what I want to give you guys, not a should we or shouldn't we, plus or minus. This is going to be a sensitive topic to our community. Think of this as windmill solar panels, that same sort of discussion of the sensitivity to the public. So data centers, what are they? We have one. We have a very small data center. It suits our needs. When we receive a request from a department for a new application, this is how we're going to run our business. This is what needs to happen on the computer. We need to make a decision. Are we going to host this in our own data center? Or are we going to host this in the cloud? And back in 2012, 2013, we took the strategy of cloud first. We're going to try to get things out of our data center to stop paying so much money. The problem with that is we shift the cost from our capital expense model to a daily, almost like a utility. that we have to pay to now use this software. We're shifting into an age where we're no longer going to be allowed to host software. So this data center of ours that we have is going to continue to shrink, but other data centers are now going to get that business and continue to get bigger. So with that, that's cloud computing, right? When we have an application hosted in the cloud instead of hosted in our data center, even though we have our own cloud, that's what we mean by cloud computing. Artificial intelligence is running on those and other digital services. The big public concerns, and we're going to get into some of these, is environmental sustainability, the health impacts, and local economic impacts. There are currently about 30 data centers in Detroit. That's the biggest service center. And the reason that we need multiple data centers is the distance between data centers, the amount of speed we are able to travel by light, but the information is able to travel by light. But the longer that span, the longer the amount of latency is between there. So what they do is something called co-location, where the same data is hosted in different areas, different data centers, and you route to whatever the fastest one is. The internet works like this too, in that right now our number one depot goes out to, not Chicago, but Grand Rapids. And then should one of those lines get cut, we have that available, that information, the same available information to go through Chicago instead of going out of Grand Rapids. It's a little bit slower, but the redundancy is there and it's still available to us. Through the website datacentermap.com, you can visualize this. This is just a small section of what Michigan is, and you can see in our area, there is nothing up there. I think the closest one north of this is going to be Alpena, but it is feasible that somebody at some point is going to come to us and say, we want to put a data center in. Now, what does that mean? Those data centers have to be cooled, and they have to provide energy to them to run them. Can your grid handle the draw of energy that's coming there? And when we talk about cooling, if we do that through water, what's the the environmental study that happens when that water comes and returns? Is it a closed loop system? Does it stay inside itself? Is there some sort of runoff that happens? Those things need to be studied. Also, infrasound is something that we've never had to really deal with before until we saw like windmills coming in and people said, you know, they make me feel funny inside. Is that a real thing? From the studies I've seen, yes, that is a real thing. What's the environmental impact? It's understudied. We don't know. We don't know what that's going to do to the wildlife. We don't know what that's going to do to us as people. Of sounds, infrasound is levels that are below our spectrum of what we can hear, like the 30 megahertz range, if that means anything to you. You can't hear it, but it's absolutely there, and it causes some sort of tonal frequency. What does that do to our wildlife? What does that do to us as people? It's so understudied, we don't know. So again, that's an environmental issue. Public health issues, infrasound is one of those. And the Fed is addressing the risks, but as I said, it's so understudied, they don't know either. So they have said, like, in some areas, they have some oversight that they won't allow it so close to a residential area because it is an industrial complex. You don't want it next to any houses or anything like that. So they do have some sort of oversight of that. And it's a complex situation when it comes to property values. Is it going to raise your property value? Is it going to lower it? If you have an industrial complex next to your house, probably going to lower it. But if you're in that same area and it creates jobs and tax revenue, that's kind of a good thing, right? So you have the up and down of is it good or is it bad? And the fast track construction of how this stuff is happening, I feel is, I've said it a lot already, but understudied. We need to do studies on how this is going to happen before it happens. I know you guys don't like studies.
Sounds like road commission.
7 years.
So I'm suggesting before this becomes a problem, because I think it's going to happen. I think somebody's going to come into one of our areas, either Huron or Tuscola, and say, we want to have a data center out here. So what are we gonna do to be ready for this? One, I think we need to start some studies ourselves that develop a baseline of what we have now and how it's gonna change. Who's gonna do that? I don't know. But I think this is what we should do, is have a baseline study done of our sounds, our environmental sounds, our infra sounds of where, or what we have right now. Where would these go? Where's the most less dense, less economic, or less environmental, less health risk areas? And what regulations are we gonna put on them that they use the energy? Does it have to be renewable energy? That's probably a good idea. Promotes more windmills. Is that a good idea?
You're getting into the Mike Miller area now.
Okay.
Just
And
kidding.
community engagement and transparent planning processes of, we need to have the public involved in this, in these decision makings, and awareness and training. So having them involved. What about AI? In short, AI will boost the need of these data centers. They're gonna make it bigger. We're not gonna host AI in our homes. It's gonna be hosted out of there. So it's only gonna get bigger. We're only gonna use more water. We're only gonna use more energy. So in planning for that, we need to make sure that when we make these regulations of how they're gonna fund themselves, how they're gonna energize themselves, cool themselves, is it sustainable for the future in their growth. So the conclusion is we have to be able to balance this. We have to be able to provide this because it's going to happen. But how are we going to do it where it's safe, it's healthy, and sustainable for our community? Any questions?
There's a lot of discussion in the communities that I'm going out to where they're looking at putting a moratorium in place in some cases. And if I'm not mistaken, I think one of my communities already has an agreement for a data center, I believe.
They're coming.
And they are coming. And one of the things that I heard on my MAC conference, a couple of conferences, meetings ago, was the fact that not only after you get the data center all approved, then come the big power lines that come through the residential areas and also impact the property values and livability of the people that are in that area. There's some big questions, and the water is another one. That's a big thing that comes up in the discussions in my communities. Because I've got one community that had wells that went dry. You'd think we live in this big water wonderland. How come the wells went dry? Well, we've got right to farm. We've got all kinds of irrigation sites and pumps all over. And despite all of that, people's wells are going dry. So it's a big thing. I sure would like to see something happen soon to get something going to talk, that we could invite some of our communities in, because I know what's the township in you guys' area that just had the data center that was turned down? Was that in your section?
Well, they turned down the panels, the solar panels.
The solar panels.
That was in Arbela.
That was the solar panels. But there's a lot of discussion, and the people that are in the smaller communities, they're trying their best to do and make the best decisions that they can. But they're like us, they're appointed and they might not have the expertise. So it would be nice if we could do something and coordinate something where people could come here and at least throw different discussion items out for further discussion. It is going to be a hot topic, but it is moving.
Yeah, nothing to disagree with there, Commissioner Graves.
I think, correct, Chairman, I think it's going to be a very contentious endeavor. Again, it's going to not equal the wind energy. This is going to be even more contentious because of the learnings that have been achieved. In spite of the fact that the DFA couldn't expand and it went to St. John's because of the power requirements. In fact, Vita Plus fought, expansion, engaged them. The power is lacking in our region, let alone I'm sure the other resources in the DFA, the other part with the cold water out of the Cass River. And there's a host of things. On the other hand, unfortunately, these decisions get pushed up to those who have little or no interest in community effects of the areas. And we have seen this recently with the wind energy and the state and overriding township zoning and the effects of that. So you're right. You're coming in as a neutral individual, but there certainly is a lot behind this that Commissioner Barrios has mentioned that really is getting many of the locals who have learned a great deal with their attorneys how to prevent such activity in their areas, because obviously you look at that little map you had up there, it was blank. That's farming.
Yep. It's our
And
agriculture.
agriculture is definitely reportedly to be significant in Michigan. But I sort of like your cloud concept you have now, not just personally, over in the building or wherever you got it located. But this is going to be a very contentious journey.
In my research, the things that really surprised me was infrasound and the levels that we hear versus what we don't. And
You hear, but you don't hear.
right.
Mm.
And I thought that would make me feel sick, but the study groups that I witnessed reported a lot of eye conditions where their eyes hurt really bad and they were strained really hard. And that's something I never would put those two together, that subneural sounds, tones would make my eyes hurt. So again, that's something we don't know, is so understudied, that we should take that kind of approach of, we need to be cautious about what this is going to do, because it could have long-term effects on a lot of stuff. But then again, it's coming, it's here.
Well, the extent of the studies is dependent upon following the money trail and who
Yeah.
decides what.
Like anything, right?
And the human cost is unknown until, years gone by. But we all do that. It's just,
And to your point about the empty area, I don't have it available, but the one northern of this in the Alpena area, that's all national forest. Are we gonna have a data center in the middle of the national forest? Wild.
I'm thinking in the middle of Detroit.
Well, they got 30 of them.
We have, but there's room down there somewhere.
Anything else from you guys?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just one question. Is AI chat GP coming to government where they have the government chat GP?
That's a whole nother animal. There are some very good uses on it. There are some really bad ideas for it. One, I'll tell you this, we'll never put personally identifiable information into an AI machine as long as I'm here. Now that shouldn't change, but I do reserve the right to change my thought on that. But as of right now, we'll never do that. We'll never put any medical data into an AI machine until things change. That's for sure. Or judicial data either. I don't think we even can. I think that's absolutely a thing right now, that the Fed oversees, that we can't do that. I'm sure.
What is the next step in this process of having this meeting or whatever?
I'd love to have a group and have a community discussion and be on the forefront of this and lead that for you, but we need to identify some leader that would bring subject matter experts in. I don't think that could be me today. Maybe in the future I could, but I think we've got a lot on our plates as a county government right now. Adding more to it is a little difficult.
There might be some technical expertise out in the areas with other communities or other municipalities having talked to experts.
I'd be happy to participate on a panel and give my thoughts if anybody wants to put one of these together, but I don't think I could lead that for you if that's, I think that's what you're getting at.
Yes, I was kind of hoping that's what you were going to. I'm thinking, well, we've got the building across the street, we've got Ian, the technology.
It's a perfect place to gather and discuss, for sure. And I would be open to have a panel, to be a panelist to do that, but
running the group and facilitating and organizing all that is a lot of work. I don't think I'm able to take under my wing right now.
All right. Thanks, man.
Sorry.
Didn't mean to take so much time.
No further report. Chairman?
No further-
Building and grounds, Commissioner Roots, anything over there?
I don't, unless Mr. Miller does.
Apparently I've taken up enough.
Oh, sorry, Woody.
What is, it is Monday. Commissioner Cook, you have anything? Back to you, sir.
Personnel, Commissioner Barrios.
We've got the controller position up on the website. I think they're going to be posting,
It's already been posted to Indeed, yes.
and it's been posted to Indeed.
Okay. Any other business is necessary? Come from the board this morning? How about public comment? We got anybody that wants to address the board this morning on public comment? Anybody here in the boardroom, anybody that's out there, virtual in? Wants to address the board this morning? See anybody out there, Ian, wants to address the board this morning?
No, sir.
Let the record show by the clerk that public comment was offered. With that, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Bluth, supported by Commissioner Barrios, to adjourn the meeting this morning. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Stand adjourned. See you Thursday.